So whenever you see like a politician or a corporate CEO washing someone's feet on the news, it is usually pitched as this ultimate PR move.
Right. It is very much a look at me, I am a servant leader kind of thing.
Exactly. It is a neat, safe metaphor. But looking at the stack of notes you shared with us today, specifically a really fascinating sermon by Pastor Sung No at Praise Presbyterian Church, that safe metaphor just gets completely shattered.
It really does.
So welcome to today's deep dive. Our mission today is to uncover the radical hidden meaning behind one of the most famous biblical scenes, which is Jesus washing his disciples' feet.
Yeah, because what if this isn't just about being a good corporate manager? What if it's actually about a total surrender of our life's resume?
Right, which is huge. So to understand why this act is so disruptive, we first have to look at what is actually missing from the text.
Yes, because in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, the Last Supper centers entirely on bread and wine.
The classic elements, right.
Right. Those are the definitive physical symbols of his upcoming sacrifice on the cross.
But in the book of John, that famous bread and wine ritual is like completely absent. That is like a director making a movie about the Titanic and just leaving out the iceberg.
That is a great way to put it. John replaces the ceremonial meal with a startling physical action, the foot washing, to make the exact same theological point.
Wait, so the wash basin is basically his stand-in for the cross.
Exactly.
Okay, so if the foot washing literally represents the cross, that completely explains why Peter fiercely resists it. I mean, this isn't just a lesson in dinner etiquette.
No, not at all. It carries literal life or death weight. Because when Peter refuses, Jesus tells him, if I don't wash you, you have no share with me.
Oh, wow.
And in the original Greek context, that word for share or part actually meant inheriting the kingdom.
So he is saying, like, if you don't let me do this, you don't get the kingdom.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And the physical movements Jesus makes aren't random either. The sermon points out that the Greek word John uses for Jesus taking off his outer robe.
Wait, is it the exact same word used earlier for him laying down his life?
You got it. It is the exact same word. The whole thing is a living drama. Every single movement maps to the gospel story.
Oh, that is fascinating.
Yeah, so when Jesus stands up from the supper, it mirrors him leaving his heavenly throne. Stripping off his garments represents laying down his life.
And then the actual act of washing represents the cleansing of salvation, right?
Yes, and when he puts his clothes back on and sits back down at the table, that is his resurrection and return to the throne.
Okay, so if taking off the robe is a metaphor for dying, then washing the feet isn't just, cleaning off dirt. It is a targeted act of salvation. But why the feet specifically? Like, why not wash their hands, which are the things doing the actual sinning?
Well, Pastor Sung No explains that in the ancient world, feet symbolize our will. They represent our chosen direction, our autonomy, basically our life's journey.
There is actually an incredible linguistic connection in your notes about this. The Chinese characters for the word resume, which is irioke, literally translate to the history of our footprints.
I love that detail. So by washing their feet, Jesus isn't just doing some menial chore. He is actively taking over the direction of their lives.
He is grabbing hold of their resume.
Exactly. Their stubborn, self-directed path and saying, I am setting the course now.
Wait, I am genuinely confused by Peter's reaction then, because when Peter finally caves, he says, Lord, not just my feet, but my hands and my head too.
Right, he goes all in.
Yeah, and if I am Peter and I realize this is about salvation, asking Jesus to wash everything seems like the right move. It shows absolute dedication. So why does Jesus shut down an eager disciple?
Because Peter is still trying to be in control. He is trying to overachieve instead of just yielding his path.
Oh, I see.
Jesus gently corrects him by saying that someone who has already bathed only needs to wash their feet. The bath represents that initial fundamental salvation.
Which you only need once.
Right. But the foot washing represents daily yielding, because as we walk through the world, we constantly try to take back control of our direction.
Our feet get dirty.
Exactly. The daily washing is a humbling surrender of our path back to a higher power.
So for you listening right now, this sermon challenges you to examine your own resume of footprints. Are you walking your own stubborn path, or are you allowing a higher power to dictate your steps?
It requires a total paradigm shift. It means taking that perfectly polished, self-directed corporate resume we talked about at the beginning and just handing it over entirely.
It really does shatter that safe PR image of foot washing, which leaves you with something entirely different to think about. If true surrender is letting someone else wash your feet, Why is it that in modern society we find it so much easier to volunteer to wash someone else's feet than to just sit down, be vulnerable, and let someone else wash ours?